Hey guys, it's Dmitry here, and in this tutorial we're going to discuss about quite an interesting topic. We're going to discuss about property descriptors. Guys, first of all, what is property descriptor? Essentially, property descriptor I can explain in general as it's an extra information about property inside of an object. And here guys, I already showed you the different groups of descriptors, right? First, let's focus on this group. It's called data group, right? An idea of this data group, when you define a value, it's one of the attributes, right, for this group, for this group of descriptors. Then it means you're working with a data group, right? Otherwise, if you decide to define and getters and setters for a property, then you essentially going to use so-called accessor descriptor group. And guys, it's a lot of like general information about that, but I think it's always better to jump into the example, right? And let's do it, guys. Okay, first thing first. First, I'm going to define a new object. I'm going to say object equal to, and at the moment I'm just going to define just one property or one key, and I will call it age and with value 32. That's it. So guys, what I'm going to do now, in order to define property, accessor property or data property, we have this standard functionality, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. When you say object dot define property, so that's exactly how you can define a new property with all this extra information about descriptors. So guys, let's first, we need to define the name of the object, which is object in this case. Then the second information we need is called the actual new property name, which is essentially should be a string, right? Because key is a string. And I'm going to say name. And then guys, as an object, I'm going to define all these extra things for data descriptor groups. And the first thing first I'm going to define the actual value, and I'm going to say Dmitry, which is my name. Then next thing I would like to define, I guess, is going to be writable, and I'm going to say true, and I'm going to explain you guys what all these attributes mean. Then enumerable to true, and configurable to true. Cool, guys. Okay, first of all, value, it's value, right? Value, it's essentially, it's going to be a value of this new key, right, or new property for this object. So writable, it's essentially this attribute of this descriptor or data descriptor of attribute. It's one of the attributes of data descriptor in this case, right? So, and if it's true, it's telling you, all right, then you can change the value, right? Initial value that was defined here. Enumerable, guys, in case if you would like to iterate, if you have multiple attributes, right? Sorry, if you have multiple properties in the object, and if you would like to show this property too, right? Then we have to iterate through all of the properties, right? And if it's set to true, then if you try to iterate, then we're going to show the value of the attribute, right, and the attribute itself, or the property itself. So yeah, we're going to show the property itself. If you change to false, we're going to hide the actual property, right, and corresponding value. So configurable, guys, it means we can make some changes. If it's true, then we can make some changes with these descriptor attributes. Otherwise, if it's false, we cannot make changes with the descriptor attributes, right? Cool, guys. So let's see the result. Console.log and object. Let's run it. So here we go, guys. This is new property, right? Dmitry and H32, right? Which is initial property. So guys, but what if we change it to false here, right? So let's define it as a false. See, guys, you can hide it, right? So now when you try to iterate, then essentially you hide this new property, right, or name property with the key name. So guys, that's how it works, right? Guys, also I would like to say, then if you're not defining all these attributes, by default all of these attributes, they are equal to true. So essentially you don't even need to define them here, right? But guys, if you would like to, for instance, as in this case, if you'd like to hide stuff, then you have to then you have to change this value to false, right? And so on, so forth. So guys, let's move on. Also, guys, I would like to show you how this accessor group works, right? So in this case, guys, let's copy and paste this part, and let's define a new property. I'm going to call it new name, and here I'm going to delete all of that. Guys, before moving on, I would like to say that writable is not part of the attributes for accessor group, right? Why? Because this set method is showing itself that we already can change the value of this property, right? And get, of course, you can get the actual property, right? So, and the rest, guys, enumerable and configurable, these attributes, they by default, they also they equal to true. So yeah, that's how it is, guys. Let's change it to true anyway. And now, guys, I would like to define the methods. First one, I'm going to define set method, and I'm going to say I'm going to define this function here, because set equal to this function. Sorry, in this case method, probably it's better to say method. And I'm going to pass new value, and new value, this dot value equal to new value. So basically that's how I'm referencing or setting this new value that we're going to pass, going to set to this value of this new property, right? So, and this this keyword it's referencing this actual object, right? So guys, also I need to define the get method, and in this case it's going to be also this method and this dot value, right? Cool. So guys, essentially I'm saying get this value, right, of this object. So get the value, get the value of this property of this object. That's how it works, guys. So pretty much I'm done with defining all these attributes, right, for this accessor group. So let's, guys, console that out. Object dot name, which is essentially this property, right? Then object dot new name, which is, I'm going in this case to use this get method in order to do that, right? We're calling this get method, and I'm going just to log out the actual object, right, and see like what's inside. And before that, guys, I also would like to set the actual value for this new name property. I'm going to say object dot new name and equal to I1, I guess. So guys, and this is essentially, in this case, I'm calling this set method, right? And I'm passing this string as a parameter here to this method. And yeah, and that's how I'm setting it. So let's run it now, guys, and see what the result is. Okay, it's an error, right? This value, it doesn't like it, right? Here we go, guys. So guys, you can see these two values, which is Dmitry and Ivan, right, which is came from this property and this property. And this one, this is actually showing you guys that this new name property, it's using getters and setters, right, or get and set methods, right? And that's how you can access or get or set a new value for this property, right? So that's how it works, guys. I hope, guys, it makes all of the stuff make sense, and I hope, guys, you enjoy this tutorial, because in some cases probably sometimes we can use it. For example, if you would like to hide some property, right, or if you would like to configure it in a certain way, right? So, and in this case, these descriptors, they can be really helpful, right? And also it's important to know like that, these accessors, they exist, right, in general, because I'm sure like many people, they don't even know that these things, they exist by default, right? So, and you can use them, right? You can accept them, right? And yeah, and in some cases they can be really super useful, right? Alright, guys, thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Please, guys, like this tutorial if you like it, and also, guys, please subscribe in case if you haven't subscribed yet, and follow my tutorials. I would really appreciate it, guys. And I see you guys next time in next tutorial. Goodbye.